For me, it's my boy Icky Ikwanu. I think he's gonna be number one overall. Yeah, I think Hamilton can be definitely can be the best player in the draft for sure. People are already saying his 40 time is hurting him. Idiots. So stupid. I swear to God, people just get bored and like don't know what else to say, and they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, he ran a 4.59." Trash. We out here, Jackson. We out here. Who's your favorite player in the draft? That's the question we're rolling with. I love Hamilton. Hot takes, bitch. Yeah, I don't think that's much as a hot take. I think for certain position groups, it definitely carries more weight. But I would agree. I don't think it means that much. Barack Obama's a solid draft pick. I'd agree with that one. Maybe early day 3. What's up, Clanky Charles? What do you mean L? Sleeper pick, Jackson. Big boomer bust potential with him. Boom as in drones. Oh my god. That's funny. I love the corgi sticker. Corgi derp. Jackson, who's your favorite player in the draft for real? For real, for your Philadelphia Eagles, your Eagles. Is it Kenny Tiny Hand Pickett? Sauce. Yeah, I like Sauce a lot too. I like Sauce a lot, and I think he's definitely CB1, CB2 for sure. But I think the Stingley slander has gotten way out of hand. Like way out of hand. I also didn't think about this before, but since we're doing this live and like y'all are here and you're gonna help me make these decisions, should we do trades? Because I kind of want to get pretty spicy with this one. I think we should definitely do trades. Yeah, I think what I've noticed, like I followed this draft, like 2022, probably the closest of any of the ones I followed. 2021 I was really into, but this one, what I've noticed is like people just get bored and then say anything. Like they will literally like the whole Kayvon Thibodeau thing about like, oh, he doesn't care about football. That literally came out of absolutely nowhere. And like with Stingley, like I get it if you want to argue the injury concern. Like, yeah, that's real, and we'll find out at his pro day like how real that is. But to say he's not good, yo, like that, your talent just doesn't vanish. Like that doesn't make any sense, like at all. Yeah, it just would never happen. Like maybe he's not as good because of the injury, but I don't know. Do like the most likely. Oh, of course, we're not going to do any crazy trades. Yeah, for the trades I know of, I know Washington is kind of like in Rams mode, and they're going to do anything to trade for a quarterback. But here's what I'll say about Washington. It's two things, really. I think people don't understand how ready Washington is to win now. And two, I don't think people want to go play in Washington because I think being traded, like if I'm Russell Wilson and I'm looking at the Broncos, Colts, or Washington, like where is my highest likelihood to succeed? Like I would say Washington is definitely the biggest gamble. Washington gonna roll. I think they go for Jimmy. Like I think Jimmy fits that offense really, really well. He doesn't have to do much. Like it's kind of similar. I don't know. I think. Did you see Aaron Jones restructuring the truck? Yeah, I think the Packers are about to just. They're in for a really rude awakening if Aaron Rodgers leaves. Drake Degrassi London, baby. All right, about 8 o'clock. I'd go for Mitch. Zane, are you a Washington fan? Watch Cross number one. I don't know about Cross number one. I think Cross top four makes a lot of sense. I don't know about number one though. Falcons. Yo, what do you what do you think about the Matt Ryan contract? I made a I made a quarterback like video like about a month ago, and when I saw that contract, I was just like, whoa, like where when was that contract like signed? Was that after the? Yo, what's up, Red Sea? You finally figured out your Twitch. Let's go. Was that Matt Ryan contract made like right after the Super Bowl? Because how is he getting paid $45 million? Who are you saying Malik for? For the Falcons? I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I just think that Malik, like my stance on Malik is like he has to land somewhere that he's not going to. How should I put this? Like he needs to land somewhere where they are competent enough to groom him. Uh, Yeah, I like Malik to the Saints. I like that as well. I think Saints definitely have to go quarterback. Like, they have to because now Sean Payton's gone. Drew Brees has been gone. Like, they have to completely remake their identity. If the Giants took Malik, I would not be shocked. I think there are a lot of Josh Allen traits in Malik Willis that Joe Shane and Brian Daboll really like. Do your thing, Red Sea. Do your thing. Happy to have you. All right, let's go. It's 8:02. Let's get started. People will trickle in, whatever. But I think with the first pick, see, I don't even want to say he's a winner from the combine because like where he was at, he already was in the in my opinion, he already was in the number one conversation. No, I'm not going Neil. I'm not going Neil number one, Ninja. We're gonna go big or go home on this one. I'm taking Ike Ekwonu, yo. Like this kid, the Jaguars are gonna be a run first team with Travis Etienne, James Robinson. They drafted Walker Little in the second. They have Cam Robinson on the franchise tag. They might extend him. If not, you're putting Ekwonu at left tackle, right? Yeah, I agree the Jags front office sucks. Do you like London skipping out on the combine? Did he completely skip out on the combine, or did he just skip out on the drills? I think to your point though, like you're saying the Jags front office is smart enough to pick Icky at number one. I just don't. I think it's kind of like a Trevor Lawrence thing. You either pick Neal or Ekwonu. I just think Ekwonu might be the best run blocking prospect ever. I don't think even over Quentin Nelson. I don't think we've seen anybody. Yo, he ran a 4.92 as well. Like he's sub 5 at his size. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't hate, but to your point, I don't hate Drake London skipping out. I think as long as they show up to pro day, they'll be all right. Especially because he's coming off the injury, he'll be all right. But I'm going to Ekwonu number one, and this is at pick 2. We're gonna go Lions. This is something I've been talking about, and a lot of Lions fans have commented on the videos that this is their pick. And here's what I'll say: like there are only 2 position groups where there is a clear-cut one. That is safety, and that is center with Tyler Linderbaum. Kyle Hamilton is the best safety in the group, and Tyler Linderbaum is the best interior offensive lineman in the group. I would argue Zion Johnson's closing the gap as an interior offensive lineman, but as a center, there's no one close to Linderbaum. With edges, I think Trayvon Walker has very, very easily closed the gap between himself and KT and Hutchinson. Let's not forget that they have the 32nd pick and they have the 34th pick. And I believe they have another pick in the second. So they have 4 picks in the top 64. I'm going with Kyle Hamilton here. I think this player is sure, you're missing out on Hutchinson, you're missing out on KT. That's fine. But someone I've been really high on, a day 2 guy that I think may sneak into the first. If not, he's there for the Lions at the second pick of the second, is Arnold Ebiketie out of Penn State. I think that kid is going to be really, really, really good, and he had a great day at the Combine. So I don't hate that the Lions are skipping out on edge here because it's a really deep edge class, and I don't think the gap between KT and Aiden Hutchinson is if we're going to talk about tackles with Ike Ekwonu, Neal, and Cross, that fall-off is massive, unless you want to lump Kenyon Green, who didn't have the best Combine day, but, I think there's a pretty substantial gap between them and Trevor Penning or Kenyon Green. Corners, I think it's Sauce and Stingley, and then there's pretty far fall off, but it's a deep, there's a lot of elite players in the cornerback position, I think, in this class. So I'm going to go with Hamilton. Where you at? And then we're going to go with the Texans. I think they got. I think they have to clear cap, and that starts with Laramie Tunsil. We could go edge. I'm not the biggest Thibodeau guy. I think he's either gonna be crazy good, or he's gonna be Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, with the unironic parallel to the Texans. Jackson, why are you making that sleepy face? What's up with that guy? What do you guys think for the Texans? I think it's either Hutchinson or Neal. I don't think Neal gets past here. I think that it would make more sense for Hutchinson to fall past here than Neal. Yeah, I would think they go Hutchinson. They have two tackles, but they are it's Marcus Cannon and Laramie Tunzel, and they need to like move off of. You know what I think though? Like honestly, there's a mosquito in here. I do think that the Browns are big candidates for Watson. I think the Browns are in play for Watson. The Broncos are in play for Watson. Washington's going to try to get Watson. I don't know how realistic that is. I think I'm gonna go with Aiden Hutchinson. Did they go Hutchinson? They have two tackles, I believe. Or KT, what other picks they have? Right now, they just have the pick 3 in the first, but they will trade Watson. Like they're gonna get another first round pick. Like I would assume they have maybe pick 9, pick 13, or maybe pick 27 if they trade with the Bucks. Pick 20 if they trade with the Steelers. They're options. If they were doing trades ups or anything, the Giants could trade pick 5 and Bradbury. I actually really like the idea of the Giants trading up. That's a good point, Ninja. I think. Wait, Dominic, who are you saying? Who are you saying his combine was insane? I think if Aquanu falls to 3, it makes a ton of sense for the Giants to trade up for him. Just trade pick 5 and some change with the Texans. Like they will 100% jump at that. I think Neal might slip past here. Yeah, I agree, Zane. I think the Texans are going to trade around. All right, we're gonna go Hutchinson then. Let's take Hutchinson. See, now here's the thing with the Jets. Like, I don't think they go. Like, I think Cross is the best scheme fit for them personally because they're gonna try to be this air raid offense with Zach Wilson, right? And Charles Cross is the most polished pass protector in the entire class. Now, granted, Evan Neal is still here, and is there a chance that Evan Neal is the third tackle off the board? I don't know about that, but I think this is the argument I'll make for the Jets taking Kayvon Thibodeau. Keenan Williams is like 100% the best player on their defense. It's not even close. And they haven't tapped into that potential because they haven't given him an edge rusher to help him out. Like they signed Carl Lawson. That was their big free agency signing last year, but he tore his Achilles before the season started. So now it's like, do we just go? And Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh are going to try to build from the trenches. Do they take KT? Do they take Neal? Some of you are saying Stingley or Sauce. I think they'll take one of them at 10. I think one of them will be there at 10. Are you saying Stingley finished in the 99% or Hutchinson? I'm going to go. This would be crazy. I mean, it would be crazy if Neal fell to 5. And I don't really think that could happen. But the thing is, though, like, my argument for why the Jets would not take Neal is because they want Aquanu to play guard. Because they want to keep Mekhi Becton and George Font as their tackles. So they would take Aquanu, put him at guard, probably left guard, and move Elijah Vera Tucker to right guard. And then, no, I don't think Sauce makes it to 10. I was talking about Stingley. Yeah, but I think they want Aquanu because if Becton fails, they have their guard that they could kick to tackle. With Neal, he would be on the pine until Becton got hurt. So I think they would take an edge here, is why I'm going to go with that Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think they would take Neal because they can't play him at guard. And you can't move Mekhi Becton to guard either. So unless Aquanu's here, I think they're going to go edge. Giants at pick 5. I mean, this is Neal. I don't think we have to talk much about this. Yeah, I think that's a layup. Um, See, and this is where it gets interesting for the Panthers because I think you just sacrifice Sam Darnold, let him like go out there, and like I think the Panthers have the best chance of winning the division this year with their defense, unless the Falcons. I don't really know how the Falcons will win the division. Sorry, Zane. Um, but I don't. I think that the two competitors are the Falcons. I mean the Panthers and probably the Saints, just because the Saints roster is good enough. Um, yeah, I've been going Malik here because they're good enough to make a run. Yeah, Matt Rule does suck. They're good enough to make a run with Sam Darnold in their weak division. So take Malik, play out the year, see how well you do, and then give Malik a year to catch up to game speed, and then build up your offensive line later anyway. Because this is the year where you're really seeing your investment on Sam Darnold to come to fruition because you paid the sixth last year and now it's the second and the fourth this year. So, I mean, you might as well let Sam Darnold play it out, but get his replacement this year. Because Malik really, I think that this pick would actually kill Malik Willis because I don't trust the Panthers to develop him. But I think this is, what is prevailing sentiment in Carolina about Sam? What do you mean, Jackson? Oh, I don't think anybody likes Sam Darnold in Carolina. In my town, nobody cares about the NFL, but like, from people on YouTube, I don't think any of them want anything to do with Sam Darnold ever. So it's kind of weird though because Panther fans are really like in the middle of we need a quarterback or we need a tackle. Yeah, those are my two picks for this pick. It's either Sauce, Walker, or Jermaine Johnson, or trade back. Because I think if you traded back, let's say because here's the thing, right? I think two teams that would offer a king's ransom for this pick, for Sauce or Stingley, are the Vikings. I don't care what anybody says about they need another wide receiver. Their quarterback room is the sorriest in the NFL. And the Ravens. Because I know the Ravens think they could win now, and to get a shutdown corner like Sauce or Stingley at 7, because they're not going to be there at 14, I think they would offer a fat trade for pick 7 or pick 8. Because if the Giants traded back to 14 or 12, I think you actually are gaining. Like, there's a good chance Jermaine Johnson will still be there. There's a good chance Trayvon Walker will still be there, and there's a very good chance that Devin Lloyd will still be there, or Nakobe Dean, whoever you're feeling that day. Yeah, I've mocked that I think once, Ninja, Tyler to the Ravens at 14. Or are you saying the Giants at 14? But I don't know if Dean is better because I don't really trust him as much in coverage, but I do think he's a better athlete than Devin Lloyd. And I do think that one of the biggest steals of the second round will be Brandon Smith. I think actually after the combine, he might squeak into the first round. Yeah, I also think if the Giants trade this pick back, they're definitely in play for Kenyon Green. I mean, I think Kenyon Green is a top 10 pick. He didn't have the best combine day, but he could, like, I think I'm someone who is kind of in the minority that I think versatility is an elite trait, not just a desirable trait. I think if you have someone who can do, especially on defense, but for the offense, like especially when it comes to the Giants, like their offensive line is so bad, and to have a player who could basically play right tackle, right guard, left guard at an elite level, like, I mean, when you have to fix everything on your line, you could put Green anywhere, and it's still just a solid pick. That's why I kind of think I'd rather take, if I'm the Giants, I'd rather take Green over if I'm not taking Sauce, if I'm not taking Trayvon Walker, I would take Green wherever I trade back to in the first, and then take Dylan Parham. What school is he out of? I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Out of Memphis in the second or third. Probably the third because they have an early second. I think they're very close together. I think Trayvon's upside is very close to Thibodeau's, and I think his bust potential is a lot lower than Thibodeau's. Just because SEC school, he's probably better in coverage than Thibodeau is, and Thibodeau had some games where it was like he kind of just vanished, and I think it's kind of two of the opposite parallels, right? Like where you have Trayvon Walker, who was very overshadowed by Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Devontae Wyatt, like all these players, and then you start to hear more about Trayvon Walker as the offseason progresses. Whereas with Kayvon Thibodeau, you heard about him, and now he's starting to fall off. Like, and Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, he fell to 8, and he had Trayvon Walker at 5 to the Giants. Like, that's why I think Trayvon Walker might be better than Kayvon Thibodeau. He's not as freakish of an athlete, but in terms of physicality, but I think as a player, they're a lot similar than people think, in my opinion. All right, what do we want to do with this pick, guys? I think we're going to go Sauce. I think, well, here's the thing, right? I don't really like going Sauce if the Giants don't trade Bradbury. But if the Giants trade Bradbury, you have to go Sauce. Because if the Giants keep Bradbury, then take Walker here. Because, like, edge is a bigger need as of March 6th than corner. But who knows by tomorrow. Like, if they trade James Bradbury, it has to be Sauce. Like, it has to be Sauce. Yeah, I think Bradbury's gone too. All right, let's take Sauce then. Where you at? I think Thibodeau will be good too. That's not what I'm saying. I just think he has a lot higher bust potential than people want to give him credit. Wait, so Zane, you don't like the idea of Falcons going edge? Because I've mocked them Trayvon Walker at least twice now. Keep him in state. You guys desperately need to get to the quarterback. Like, your pass rush was basically non-existent last year. And I know a lot of Falcons fans are very much so like, don't take Stingley because he's hurt all the time. Because I like Stingley and Terrell a lot. Like, I think you guys could actually win the division. Like, I think the NFC South is so bad that AJ Terrell and Derek Stingley could win that division. Because they're playing Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston, maybe Jameis Winston. It might not even be Jameis Winston. Or Kenny Pickett or Sam Howell or one of these rookies. And Kyle Trask. Like, that's why I think the Falcons taking a corner makes a ton of sense. I'd rather them take Sauce, but I think the division is actually that bad that those corners could completely win the division for them. Stingley not bad here. Yeah, I agree. I think it's Stingley or Walker for certain. I'm trying to think. I think it depends on what you're trying to do, right? Like, if you want to win the division, take Stingley. If you want to start your rebuild, take Walker. Because I think Walker is not going to have as much of an immediate impact year one as Stingley will. If Stingley can stay healthy. Because that would, like, your secondary would be an absolute nightmare. Like, I mean, especially if you're going up against, like, again, like going up against Sam Darnold, a rookie quarterback, or Jameis Winston, or Kyle Trask. Like, I don't see how anybody's scoring on you in your division. I mean, obviously, like, they will and blah, 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 but quarterback play might be the worst in the entire league in the NFC South. Let's go Stingley. I think that's a good pick. pick 9. This is something I've been thinking about, right? Maybe not here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because I got something I want to bounce off you guys. So pick 9. I mean, I personally, I think this is a Packers pick. Like, I do not think that the Broncos own pick 9. Like, it's either a Seahawks pick, a Packers pick, or a Texans pick. Should we trade it? I think we trade it. I love David. I'm super high on David Ajabo, but I think we trade this pick. All right. Broncos. I already traded it once with the Packers, which is why I don't want to do it again. I kind of want to get really spicy and trade it with the Titans, but I don't think they have the cap space where it's not reasonable. So if we don't trade it with the Titans, I'm not sure if the Colts can make it work. I don't think they could if my math was right. But if they could, it's a different story. I think they definitely. Well, I like Tennessee. I think the Seahawks are buyers here because they send Russ and they get whatever like the Broncos can offer them, and they're golden. Or the Texans. Like I think it's like I don't hate the Texans trading Watson for pick 9. I mean, now you have 2 top 10 picks for your rebuild. I don't know, man. I just feel like he doesn't want to stay there. I think Sam Howell will be better than Baker Mayfield. No, I don't think Howell stinks. I like Howell. I think Ritter is insanely slept on. Like, I think Ritter is probably my QB2, as crazy as that sounds. I just think his athleticism is not talked about enough. And he made some really nice throws in the Alabama game. And he balled out at Senior Bowl. And he had arguably the best combine day. I just think everything for Ritter is trending up. All right, what do we do with this pick? I don't think the Texans want to keep. I don't think the Texans want Watson in division or in conference. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't really like any of the QBs in the first. I think the 2 QBs that will go in the first are Malik and Pickett, probably. Because I think the Saints are going to take Pickett and be like, okay, we could play for the division. Imagine Kyler Murray got traded to the Broncos. It will be a very good second round pick. I think he might go in the first just by the nature of the draft and how it works, but I don't think Corral goes in the first. I'm out on Corral completely. Like, I don't think, like, if I was a GM, he's not on my board. I just think if he's not in an RPO system, he's not going to work. And now he's missed he's missed Senior Bowl, Pro Day. I liked Corral. Like, I did like Corral was my first quarterback off the board for a long time during the season. And then he got hurt. And then we're seeing these other risers and more concerns being talked about Matt Corral. Jackson, you want Corral to the Birds? All right, let's since we can't find a trade pick or a trade partner here. Well, Howie RPO QB hoarder moment. I agree. All right, so we're gonna trade this pick. Let's just trade it. Let's just pick someone. I'm gonna say they trade with the Seahawks just to switch it up. How do we make this go through? All right, that's not a realistic trade, just for the record. I just wanted to force it through. I think the Seahawks, with the Seahawks on the board, what would the Seahawks do here? I think their offensive line needs work. I think it kind of is very ironic that if they traded this pick, they draft an offensive lineman after they get Russell Wilson out of town. Because that was his only complaint about, not only complaint, but that was his biggest complaint about the team the whole time. And now they're going to fix it. Yeah, I like Crosshair. I do like Crosshair a lot. I think if they need a QB or they probably would ride Locke into a better quarterback class. Like, 'cause this is how I think about it, right? Like, if you're in transition as a franchise, what I would do is build the offensive line before I landed my guy. Yeah, I think they would trade something like the first, and they'd either get Locke or Bridgewater. The Seahawks are a disaster. Like, I think it's gotten to a point where they have always been this bad, and they have just been on the back of Russell Wilson, and now it's gotten to a point where that doesn't work anymore. It's the same thing with the Packers, essentially. I mean, next year with Bryce Young class, their team is awful. Yeah, like, I think if they got... I agree. I totally agree. That they won't have more than 4 to 5 wins. What if Tyler Huntley gets traded somewhere to start? Yeah, they have this is their last year without a first from the Jamal Adams trade, I believe. I don't think Huntley would start somewhere. I think he would be like post-Titans Vince Young caliber starter. Yeah, I think the pick is Cross. I definitely think the pick is Cross. Jets on the board at 10. Oh, that sucks. That Cross just went off the board because that would have definitely been my pick. I like so Pete. Oh, this is something that's pissing me off, man. People are saying Treylon Burks had a bad combine day because he ran a 4.5. Do people know how fast a 4.5 is? He's also like, what is he? What do they got him weighed on? 230 pounds? Are you kidding me? Do they trade back? That's the thing is if they traded, who wants pick 10? You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's someone like I could see. Because like I would say these two, the Vikings and the Ravens, definitely want to trade up for a corner, as in Saucer Stingley. But if they're gone, Treylon Burks was great at the combine. People are just saying that because, like, again, like they just want to talk shit essentially. Like they have nothing to talk about. Burks is definitely going to be a problem, 100%. I like Burks the Jets, just because like if they do use him as Deebo Samuel, he's going to help out their backfield a lot. And Michael Carter like needs to be a handcuff to someone. Are you saying the QB pick for the Jets? That is disrespectful. You got to give Wilson a year. You got to give him at least 2 years. Even if I don't like him. I think you go receiver here. You definitely either you go receiver here or you trade back. But I don't think the Saints want to trade up for Pickett because Pickett's going to be there anyway. Yeah, I don't think the Saints need to trade up for Pickett though. That would be my counter argument. Is like he's going to be there. Whoever they want is going to be there. I think there are 3 wide receivers the Saints want, and they will all be there at 19 or 18 if they go wide receiver. I think the Jets go wide receiver. It just depends on like I personally think Drake London or Treylon Burks would be the best complement to Elijah Moore because they do something completely different. Whereas Garrett Wilson and Jameson Williams are very similar in terms of route concepts to Elijah Moore. Now, Elijah Moore might be the better route runner, but their route tree is very similar. Where like Drake London, 6'5", you're never going to get that from Elijah Moore. Just a perimeter weapon, red zone weapon. Same thing with Treylon Burks. Like, I like Garrett Wilson and I like Jameson Williams. I love Jameson Williams. But I don't think they necessarily complement Elijah Moore like Burks or London do. That would be my counter argument for why I wouldn't take. Yeah, but Corey Davis is like 105, and he missed like half the season. I've never liked Corey Davis ever. Never liked Corey Davis because this is my argument. If you're gonna take a wide receiver at 4, he better do what what's his name? Jamar Chase just did. That's my whole argument. That's why I don't like Corey Davis. I think he just is. I don't know. I kind of like them on the Jets. I think this pick is London or Burks, so if we go our receiver. I mean, you could go Linderbaum. You could go Linderbaum for the Jets. But their line, like minus Mekhi, like if they had a different left tackle, would not be that bad. Yeah, I think it's Burks. I definitely think it's Burks. Washington. Should we trade Washington's pick? I think that would be real spicy. I think we trade Washington's pick. But with who? Let's see. Should we trade it with the Texans? That would be crazy. I'm trying to think. Who would be... I don't know, man. I don't think Washington lands a soul. I think they get Jimmy Garoppolo for like a third. I think Jimmy G is worth, if it's just Jimmy G, a third. But I don't think they ever get a first for him. They would never, ever get a first unless they sent... They would have to send Jimmy Garoppolo and Brandon Ayuk for this to be a first-round pick, in my opinion, and some. That would actually not be a bad trade if they added Brandon Ayuk to it because Washington desperately needs a receiver. Yeah, like, I think the Eagles are candidates to trade back rather than trade up. Because they have the 3 firsts, they really cannot screw it up, but if anybody could, it would be Howie Roseman. Minshew to Washington I don't hate, but it wouldn't give him the first. No, I don't think Jimmy gets this first. I don't think there's any scenario. I think it has to be a package for Jimmy because you're telling me Jimmy by himself with he's only 28, but dude, like he's hurt every year. Every year he's got something where he misses games. And like think about this too. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo would be the best quarterback in that division? Even with Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott. He's not putting up Dak Prescott numbers. If Daniel Jones takes a step, he's not going to be able to beat them. And if Jalen Hurts even takes a step, I don't think Jimmy beats anybody. I think Jimmy's at most by himself a third rounder. If you add Ayuk, maybe you add a guard because Brandon Sheriff might leave, then you get a first. Yeah, but Minshew would be. What's up, Pex? Welcome to the chat. What do you think, Washington? Do you think Washington? There's any way that Washington trades this pick for a quarterback? That's what we're talking about. Oh, he was definitely worth a second pre-starting days. I mean, that's what they got for him. But he also was like what, 23, 24 when he got traded. I'm just saying, like, let's look it up. How many games has Jimmy Garoppolo played? Let's see. I mean, this might even be a trade for Mitch Trubisky. If they do trade for... he played... Oh, well, he played 15 games this year. He only missed 2. So, maybe he's not as hurt as I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of then? I don't like Coral Pex. I think this is either Kenny Pickett or Ritter before Coral. That's what the reports are. Washington. Yeah, what do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's value is worth? Oh, true. They wouldn't have to trade for Mitch Trubisky. I'm an idiot. That's right. He's a free agent. But Washington does not have they don't care what the price is for an elite quarterback, apparently. Because all I keep saying is, does anybody care about what Matthew Stafford was worth? Yeah, I agree. I think Mitch kind of got the Jameis Winston treatment behind Drew Brees being behind Allen. I think he definitely got put into a system with structure. I actually do as I'm very low on Corral, but I do like him to Washington. Yeah, I agree. Jimmy's a third. I think the only way that San Francisco gets this first round pick is if they trade Jimmy, Brandon Ayuk, and maybe like a fifth. I don't think Jimmy would get it straight up. And I think that Washington would jump on that trade because they do need a wide receiver too for Terry McLaurin. And Brandon Ayuk is only like, what, 23? I just don't like the fact that Corral kind of didn't have the best end of season, and now he missed the Pro Day, Senior Bowl, and Combine. Like, I just think unless he's in an RPO system, there's a higher chance he doesn't work out, which is why I do like him to Washington because they do run a lot of RPO. And Willis is already off the board. If you want to see the board packs, it's right here. Aquanu, Hamilton, Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Neal, Willis, Gardner, Stingley, Cross, Burks, and then here we are. We traded the Broncos pick for Russell Wilson, trying to spice it up. Like Atwell in the second. Willis does throw a pretty ball. Yeah, Willis I think, definitely has a lot of. My favorite trait that Willis has is 90 broken tackles. He's only behind, out of wide receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks, I think out of all players, he's only behind Kenneth Walker by 4 broken tackles. Kenneth Walker had 94. Willis had 4. 90, I mean. Yeah, I think if we're gonna leave this pick to Washington, if they're not gonna trade it, maybe they swing for the fences on Watson. But I just don't think anybody wants to play in Washington. I think it's too risky because they're like whoever it is, right? Like if it's Rodgers, if it's Russ, if it's Watson, if it's even like Jimmy, like if you're getting offers from the Colts, the Saints, the Titans, you just have a more chance, or the Broncos even, you have more of a chance of winning there. Like Washington would be last on your list. Cross might have a better career than Neal. I just think that as of right now, of March 6th, you cannot take Cross over Neal if you're the Giants. Because I think with Neal, like Cross's run blocking is almost non-existent. At least that's what we've seen from, what's been going on, what we have. But they might not sign anybody, but they're apparently making a big push. But let's say they don't. Let's just say they don't. Let's say they keep this pick. We want to go Corral here. Is that the consensus from the chat? Corral. I like Ritter over. I like Ritter, Pickett, and Howell over Corral. I know they do not run the ball at Mississippi State. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if he's a bad run blocker. They just don't do it. Yeah, the Giants do love Green. I think they love Green for the versatility, and I think Icky is just the best. Like, I think he's the best run blocker prospect of all time. Like, I don't think that's out of pocket to say either. I mean, Anthony ran a 4.92. Like, what else do you want from him? Pickett? Yeah, I think I like Ritter over Corral. I think Ritter has had a very under the radar great Senior Bowl and a great combine. Mike Leach special. Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell, and that we haven't not done Sam Howell in Washington. I've done Pickett. I have not done Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell is going to be pretty solid. I think he's going to be a better Baker Mayfield. Like I think and I know a lot of people hate like Broshmo. If you ever watch Broshmo's videos, he hates the Baker Mayfield comp for Sam Howell. Pex, we're talking about Cross. We don't like. I'm saying like because Mississippi State runs the ball maybe 3 times a game, we don't know how good of a run blocker Cross is. Yeah, I agree. I think Sam Howell definitely has underrated arm talent, and I think it like he lost Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, De'Ami Brown. Like, all those players at Chapel Hill that were solid. I know a lot of people. I like Cross, too. A lot of people are very... with Cross, it's very either you like him or you don't, is what I found out. There's no middle ground. I'm like, yeah, Cross could be good. It's either he's going to be great or he's going to be a bust. He's like he would be like the offensive tackle version of Kayvon Thibodeau. I would love to collab with Broshmo. I got to hit him up. But, I mean, I'm working like an absolute dog these days. I'm pulling like 12, 14-hour days. It's not a fun time. All right, we got to pick a quarterback because we've been talking about Washington for like 20 minutes. Let's go Howell. I think that's and I do think Howell is better than Corral, and I think he would be better out of an RPO system, but I think he would be great in an RPO system. Are picks too high for Green now, though? No, I think Green is definitely a top 10 pick. I think if the Giants trade back pick 7 with the Ravens or the Vikings, because they're gonna be buyers for Stingley or Sauce, that is the perfect pick at 12 or 14 for Green or Lloyd or like any linebacker or anybody. I don't know if you need to go linebacker. I think Brandon Smith is going to be one of the best picks of the second round out of Penn State. That kid is an animal. He's definitely first round. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants. I don't think the Jets will take Green. I think. Yeah, Akem went first for us. I don't think Akem was going to be there at 5. I think the Jets like Akem a lot. Yeah, Green didn't have the best combine, but it didn't really affect him for me. people had Green falling because he's boring. There's no narrative to talk about with Kenyon Green. Like, that is why nobody's talking about Kenyon Green. I think someone who's going to be I think someone who's going to steal Kenyon Green. Actually, I'll wait. I'll wait for it. I will wait for it because I think I'm gonna shock you guys with that pick. All right, pick 12 is the Vikings. I like the idea of them going edge just because Danielle Hunter is so injury prone, but a lot of people don't like that. I do agree that their cornerback room is so sorry that this needs to be corner. So because it's that sorry, try and catch up with the chat. I think this has got to be Trent McDuffie. If the two corners are off the board already, this is Trent McDuffie. No matter, like, hands down. Jermaine or Trayvon for who? Ninja, Jermaine or Trayvon for the Giants or for the Vikings? Because I would agree. I definitely would agree that Walker to the Vikings would be a very, very solid pick. I just think they need a corner. They have the most poopy corner room in the NFL. Yeah, I went with McDuffie. I think it has to be corner. Yeah, I agree. I think the pick is either Walker, Johnson, or Jermaine Johnson or McDuffie. A lot of people do not like Jermaine Johnson, and I just don't understand what there isn't to like about Jermaine Johnson. He's like, to me, he is the Kenyon Green of edge rushers, where it's like he's going to be good. Like, we don't have to talk about anything else. He's going to be a good football player in the NFL. Why do people keep saying we got to make some bad picks? I don't do that here. Yeah, I think Browns take Williams or Wilson, 100%. This is a receiver. Yeah, I know a lot of GMs are dumb, but the good news is John Gruden's not drafting, so it's going to be a little bit easier to be right. No, Roger McCreary has fallen very far down the board. Yeah, he's at 44. That was a bad pick, Pex. It works. Yeah, I think this is our most far-fetched pick so far. I like Walker a lot. Walker would not be a bad pick, but I think when your receivers are Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Higgins, I guess Demetric Felton would be your slot receiver maybe. I'm going to go with Jameson Williams. I think like out of these, like, or maybe Drake London. That wouldn't be a bad pick. I just don't like Drake London with Baker Mayfield is my argument. Because Baker Mayfield needs to just roll out, hit someone on his check down, and that be the play. That needs to be the play. So I would go with Wilson or Williams. I think Williams has the most home run potential, but safest pick would be Wilson. So we could take Wilson. I have drafted Pickett to the Browns, I think once. All right. Pick 14. I think this would need to be a corner. But being that they're all off the board, I don't like Olave this early. I don't care what his combine said. I do not like Olave this early. Olave to me is like a 20 to 32 range guy. Yeah. No, I don't think Williams will fall round 2. Definitely not 3. I think Mechie maybe round 3, but probably definitely not. I think with the Ravens, how this board has fallen. And actually, we didn't talk about this guy enough yet. Can we talk about Jordan Davis's combine real quick? My God. But I agree they need to go secondary, but with how I think Andrew Booth is too high for him here. And the next best corner would be either like Kyler Gordon or McCreary. Maybe you trade this pick back. Yeah, I think they're going to trade Coop. Talking about the Cowboys. Yeah, I think Jordan Davis is the pick here. Definitely. You're not going to be able to run on the Ravens if Jordan Davis is here. It's already hard enough to run on the Ravens. It's either, for me, this pick is either Linderbaum, Walker, or Jordan Davis. Let's trade this pick with the Saints. I don't think that's a bad idea. Oh, shoot. Hold up. Hopefully I did this right. I have no idea how this trade thing works. Yes, I do think Devontae Wyatt is a first-round pick. Definitely. They're going to get... I actually think when I was doing this, it would make sense for the Bucks to be buyers to trade up here. Yeah, this is definitely Pickett. This is 100% Pickett. I like Desmond Ridder a lot, but this is Pickett. Because they could win the division with Pickett, I think. I think it's that bad. Panthers are going to win the division, but I do think Pickett makes the Saints way more formidable than Jameis Winston. If he stays. He might not stay anymore because Sean Payton's gone. I think Pickett in sunny shine days is going to be fine. I think in rain and snow, he is going to be a problem. Not in the good way. I'm closing my eyes for the next two picks. He did have a fumbling problem, though. Ante's going to be 25 this year, right? Or 24? Oh, it doesn't say the age. Yeah, I think all these QBs are I think the only two I would gamble on if I was a GM is Ridder and Wilson. Wilson first. I mean, Willis and Ridder. Okay. This is an absolute slam dunk for the Eagles right here. No. Here's my argument. And Kane, since you're in the audience, please keep me honest. You guys made the playoffs, right? Your team's not that bad. I think there's a lot of luck involved in that playoff run, a lot of scheduling luck. But I think Walker is good enough to be an immediate impact player, and you have time to groom him while you find your franchise quarterback. Because I think we all could agree we've seen Jalen Hurts' ceiling. Unless he takes a massive leap as a passer, which I don't think he will, 17 yards and a quarter in the playoffs is not going to win you a Super Bowl ever. Right? So my argument for the Eagles is don't trade for a quarterback. Build the best team possible and then draft your guy, whether that's Bryce Young or whatever. Trade for that guy next year. Right? So for me, it would be interesting if the Colts traded next year's first to get back into the first this year, is what I'm thinking of. But for me, it's either Jermaine Johnson or Trayvon Walker. I haven't had Trayvon Walker fall this far, and I don't think he ever will fall this far. Well, fortunately, Howie Roseman couldn't even draft if the only eligible players were all pros. He'd still miss. I'd agree. We're going to go with Walker. And then we're going to take... Yo, how do you feel about Jordan Davis here? Playoffs say hi. Jackson, what do you think about Davis here? Just because the corners are, unless you want to gamble on Andrew Booth, I don't think very many people are high on Andrew Booth. The only people on YouTube I know that are high on Andrew Booth is Bengal, who's got a pretty good track record. Walker, and then I think you take Linderbaum. You could take Penning. I don't like Penning. I think he's just a dickhead, to be honest. All of his penalties are dickhead penalties. It's like the best way I could put it. This is the first year I'm doing this, Ninja. But I mean, I was pretty spot on. Like, this is the first year I'm on YouTube, but like, this is the first year I've been doing this for a little bit, like, in just for fun. Yeah, I mean, if we're banking on Howie Roseman missing a pick, I think Booth could be in play. I think that it would actually make more sense of a Howie Roseman pick to take Karlaftis over Walker or Jermaine Johnson, not Booth, because I don't think Booth is going to be that big of a bust. I don't think he's going to be that bad. I think he just needs work. Let's go with Linderbaum. I think that's the smartest pick. I think Linderbaum to replace Kelsey is like, I think Helen Keller could make that pick. Yeah, I don't like Karlaftis either. I haven't liked Karlaftis since he was a top 10 pick. I don't think you'll find him in any of my videos in the top 10. Maybe one or two when it was early. But Karlaftis is definitely an Eagles pick if they're gonna whiff on one. Like that would be my Howie Roseman whiff. Not because I think Karlaftis is gonna be bad, but because who he's picking Karlaftis over. That's my argument. And then Chargers. This is my pick for the Chargers. Kenyon Green. Stick him at right tackle. I think Kenyon Green is such a good pick for the Chargers. I saw a tight end absolutely handle Karlaftis. Yeah, I have not liked Karlaftis this whole process. I never viewed him as a top 5, top 10 pick. Maybe top 10 for a little bit, but like to keep myself honest, but I do not like Karlaftis at all. So what do we think about the Kenyon Green to the Chargers? Yeah, I think Kenyon Green can play right tackle for them if they need. I don't know, man. I think the Ravens take Davis. I told Nick to get in here, but he didn't get in here. Maybe they go. Nah, they wouldn't go Penning. I do like the idea of taking Ojabo because of he was high school teammates with Odafe Away, but I don't think it's like realistic. um, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Davis here, and then Jermaine Johnson is gonna find a nice little home in a few picks. I just think Jordan Davis after his combine is too freaky to pass up, especially for a team who needs interior D line. Yeah, I think in the right spot, like the Ravens, that would be a good pick for Penning. I also think the Chargers would be a good pick for Penning. And I think the Steelers will be a good pick for Penning. Yeah, definitely. I think this is Nakobe Dean. Where's Brandon Smith at? They got Brandon Smith at 117. Yikes. Wow. Let's take Nakobe Dean. How do we feel about Nakobe Dean? Jackson, are you still out there? How do you feel about Nakobe Dean to your Eagles? Yeah, I think Dean is like a mini Micah Parsons. I don't think he's gonna be as good. He just doesn't have the size either, but his play just had a confirm a texture receipt. Trying to honestly send in your resume packs. Maybe they'll give you a look as an intern. Yeah, I'm gonna take Nakobe Dean here for the Eagles, and then I think I don't know if the Steelers take a QB here if this is how the board fell out. I think they would take Ritter. He's the closest to Malik Willis. And is probably a better passer as of right now. Or do we think that this is I think it's Penning or a QB. I think if you're talking about the Steelers, Ninja, you don't think they'll make a trade in the top 5? Yeah, I think the Giants are going to get at least a third for Bradbury. I don't know about 2. The good thing if you're a Giants fan is this draft is loaded for your positional needs. Like absolutely loaded. If you have any extra picks, oh my god. Y'all be all right. Penning packs? You think Penning? I'd agree with that. I think it's Penning or Ritter. I think they're gonna try. I think they're gonna try to convince the Panthers to trade with them at 6. I don't think the Giants are gonna budge because I don't think they want to trade back that far. I think the Panthers will trade back that far because they have to cover ground on the capital they lost for Sam Darnold. I think Penning would be the pick here. He just screams Steeler, nasty, mean, run game, mauler. Yeah, this is Penning. I think this is Devin Lloyd. I think this pick is either Devin Lloyd or the Titans trade up. Tomlin will definitely rein him in because he'd probably be happy to rein him in because he's not worried about TikToks. It's just being a dickhead on the football field. I mean, much rather deal with that. Patriots takes J-Mo. I'd agree. I would agree it's J-Mo or Lloyd. Or they trade it back. Who's available right now? Ooh, I think Drake London over J-Mo, though. Just because they need a replacement for Burks. I don't think they'll have to trade for one. They could either take J-Mo and sign Allen Robinson. This could be the Falcons. Yeah, if they traded for Calvin Ridley, this could be a Falcons pick. Yeah, I'd agree that Watson to the Steelers is a possibility. Jameson Williams to the Pats. I mean, there definitely are the ties from Alabama and Nick Saban, the whole 9. I just think they need that perimeter guy that they've wanted for so long. Yeah, I get you're saying not because of Alabama or because of Alabama. 'Cause I'm saying because of Alabama. What do you think the price for Ridley would be though, with the mental health stuff? Yeah, that's true. Mac Jones familiarity. But was Jameson Williams there? Like, what year did he transfer? Did he transfer this year or did he transfer last year? Because he's coming from Ohio State. I don't know about a 1. I agree that talent is a 1. That's not what I'm saying. I think Calvin Ridley is definitely worth a first-round pick as a football player, but when you got to factor in all this off-the-field stuff, like it would have to be like a conditional 1 or a 3 for Ridley, in my opinion. Because like, if he plays like 4 games, and then it's like I can't. If he pulls like if he just dips, like you're out a first-round pick. It has to be conditional. Yo, and the Colts might trade for Ridley as well. I think I could see them being buyers on Ridley. Who's on the board here? Right quick. Bernard Raymond. I'm actually going to trade this pick. I'm going to get really spicy with this trade. I'm going to trade this pick with the Bengals. Actually, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't trade with the contender. I was going to have the Bengals trade up for Zion Johnson. But I don't think the Patriots would trade with the Bengals after they just went to the Super Bowl. I think it would be. Yeah, I would agree. Actually, I guess it would have to be at least a 2, or like or maybe like a 3 and a future pick, a future conditional pick, like a 3 up front, and then either a 3rd or a conditional first if he plays a full season, or something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Yeah, I think the Bengals are actually huge buyers to trade up for a player they think. Like I could see them trading with if Penning and Green are available at 17, like they would definitely trade up for pick 17 and take one of them. 100%. I wish I had done that earlier. All right, let's make this pick. I think we're gonna go with JMO. I like that pick. Wyatt's still on the board, and I think with Jordan Davis's combine, I don't think they're gonna have to trade up for Wyatt. I think they would have to. I mean, they could trade up here to just leapfrog the Raiders. Do you think they would need to though? I think the Raiders go. I think the Raiders take a receiver. Like if Drake London's there at 22, they would definitely take London because they don't have that perimeter guy. Like they have Renfro and Zay Jones, and like Waller missed a ton of time this past season. Like they have to peel back his workload a little bit. No to what, Pex? Yeah, I agree. London and Renfro would be nasty. Yeah, I think Red Sea. I think the Cardinals could stay put and still get Wyatt. Um, all right, this pick I think we're going with Jameson Williams, and then Raiders we're gonna just take Drake London. Cardinals, Red Sea. What do you think? Because I know you've been writing up some stuff. What, are you still on the Wyatt train? Raiders definitely could go D-line. But I think I agree with Pex. I think McDaniels is going to go offense because they need to fix that offense. I think that, I mean, the only way that the Raiders go D-line here is if they trade, or not trade, they get Devontae Adams in free agency. But I think the Packers are going to be scumbags and franchise tag him. Would you take Johnson? He's still on the board, and I think he would be a fantastic fit for the Cardinals. He would come in right away and be a beast. Ojabo, you'd have to rotate him. Ojabo did sort of fall. I agree, Ninja. I mean, it just happens in waves, right? Like, there's a consistency, then, like, Senior Bowl, and then it's like everything's going to shake up a little bit, and then it's going to be Combine, and things are going to shake up a little bit. Johnson fell just, I don't know, bro. He's easily a top 10 pick, in my opinion. Same with Walker. Walker fell really far. I think what really made it fall was the Giants taking a corner. Just trickled all the edges down the board. Cooper may go to the Pats, so they may not go wide receiver. Just thinking about that. Yeah, that's a good point. I think I think Ojabo has one of the highest ceilings in the class. I think Walker may have proven to have a little bit higher of a ceiling, but yeah, Walker for a team that's not ready to compete is a great pick. You're taking the higher ceiling player than the immediate impact player when your team's not ready to compete. No, we literally had a whole discussion about Howie Roseman screwing that up. Not that I think he screws up the Walker pick. I think if Howie Roseman were to pass on Jermaine Johnson, it would be for someone like George Karlaftis, not Trayvon Walker. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Ninja, about the Ojabo take. I think because of how ready the well, here's the thing. Here's how I'm thinking about this. I think this is great because Elite Talent will fall around too. I think that the Cardinals would be pressed to take Devontae Wyatt here because there are better edge players in the second round than interior D linemen. I think Devontae Wyatt, the gap between Devontae Wyatt and Perrion Winfrey is way higher than either Jermaine Johnson, David Ajabo, George Karlaftis, or Arnold Ebiketie, Kingsley Enagbare, Boye Mafe. I like what's his face, Cameron Thomas a lot out of San Diego State. I think Wyatt's the pick. Pex, get Taco Bell. Don't you sleep on Travis Jones. Yep, Travis Jones would be another good pick. I think he'll be solid. But that's my point, though. Like this edge class is so deep that, I mean, like you could take, like Travis Jones might be great as interior D lineman, but like DeMarvin Leal was a potential number one overall pick, and now he's probably a late round 3 guy. Travis Jones is going to be solid. The next two are Perrion Winfrey and Devontae Wyatt, but the edge group is much more solid than interior D line. I don't think the Cardinals are bad at drafting. I just think that Cliff Kingsbury is the most overrated coach in football. And he did nothing to deserve an extension through 2027. Like, it's like putting the nail in your own coffin. I'm gonna go with Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, dude. You could find that. You used to be able to find on like betting apps that DeMarvin Leal was like had plus 300 or 400. I think at the beginning of draft season, Leal had plus 300, 400 odds at the number one overall pick, and then 2 months later he was plus 800, and now he's like a round 4 guy, round 3 guy. All right, we're hurrying up, Peck, so you can get White Castle. Yo, I actually kind of wish that Drake London was still on the board because I would definitely take him to the Cowboys if they trade Cooper. But with with Jermaine Johnson on the board, I don't think you could pass on Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, it's not a bad move to go Wyatt and then spend every penny you have on J.C. Jackson. Yeah, Drake Jackson is all the way down here. I watched his tape. He was probably the first person I watched tape on, and I didn't understand why people thought he was a first-round pick, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. Cowboys take Johnson. Definitely. Here's my argument, though. I do like the idea of them taking Lloyd and just putting Micah Parsons at the edge. Like, just keep him as an edge rusher forever. He was, like, one of the best edge rushers in football when he played edge. Bills, I think they could either go... I like Boye Mafe. He had a great testing. Ajabo could be solid here. Sneaky pick would be Perion Winfrey. Yeah, Jake Jackson is cheeks. Yeah, Micah Parsons as just an edge rusher is going to, like, he would be very, very good. Like, it would be like, yeah, and of course, you know. What do we want to do with the Bills? I don't hate Kyler. I don't think Andrew Booth. I don't hate Andrew Booth here, especially after Tre'Davious White tore his ACL this year. They could go edge. They could take Karlaftis or Ajabo. Pex, you want to see the board? I think Zion Johnson would be a great pick. Or Perion Winfrey. Or my picks would probably be Booth, Ajabo, Perion Winfrey, or Zion Johnson. You mean Elam? Or who are you trying to say, Ninja? What do you need to see, Pax? The draft order or the draft board? Give me a scroll. Who's the Giants' second rounder? Zion Johnson? Bills could just take Kenneth Walker here. or Spiller. I mean, not Spiller, Brees Hall. I think Winfrey's the pick. Winfrey and Davis have similar skill sets. I think Davis's floor is just a lot higher. Maybe. I mean not Winfrey. I'm talking about Wyatt. I'm thinking about Wyatt. Yeah, I think it's a Ajabo here. It's either Ajabo or Winfrey. We can take Winfrey. Let's take Winfrey. I think at this point, if you're the Bills, you want the player who's going to help you win now versus help you win in a year or two. Titans here, I think this is just... I feel like they want to be... Yeah, and Greg Rousseau in year 2 might take a leap. It's a good point. I think they need to be able to stop the run. I think this is Devin Lloyd, like for certain. They don't really have a linebacker. Pick 27. Yeah, I mean that Titans pick has got to be Lloyd. Pick 27. I don't hate the idea of the Bucks taking Booth because they probably are not going to be competitive for a while. Why don't you like Lloyd that much? I love Lloyd. I think he's just your prototypical linebacker. Zion Johnson? I don't know about that for the Bucks. Why do you say Zion? I think it would be a Jabo or Booth before Zion. Zion will be taken in the first round, like for certain, because he's basically the Bengals are taking whichever best first round pick or for interior lineman or tackle is available. I mean, the Jets would take Zion before he got to the Giants in round 2. Or Pet retiring. Yeah, I've seen that a little bit too about Marpet retiring. I just don't. Is it certain that he's retiring, or is he still thinking about retiring? I think the Giants signing Logan Ryan over Dalvin Tomlinson was one of the probably, if not the biggest mistake the Giants have made in the entirety of the Dave Gettleman era. That was so bad. Because if they trade back and got Jordan Davis, could you imagine Jordan Davis, Leonard Williams, and Dalvin Tomlinson with Aziz? Yeah, I think Zion will be a sneaky pick here. I mean, if Marpet's retiring and they definitely want to get a QB in free agency. I just think they're going to need a receiver because if they don't land a QB, I think Bruce Arians retires and I think Chris Godwin's definitely gone. I like Hamilton a lot. I think he's definitely could be the best player in the club. Not Gettleman pick. I said Gettleman signing Logan Ryan over Dalvin Tomlinson. Logan Ryan's just a locker room guy. Dalvin Tomlinson was production, in my opinion. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. With this pick, what do we think? Receiver or what are we doing here? Receiver, corner, or Zion? I'm going to take Booth. I think, I think Booth is the pick here, though. McCreary wouldn't be bad. I just think Booth is a pick because if he's a developmental prospect and there's a good chance you're going to need time before you're competitive again, I think that's when you take those low floor, high ceiling guys. I mean, if we went best available, it'd probably be a Jabo. They just don't really need edge. I think we go with Booth. Well, yeah, if you're gonna have to actually stick Ojabo in a rotation, definitely probably a good pick. Yeah, let's go Ojabo. And then for the Packers, I'm gonna get a little bit spicy with this pick, and I'm gonna take Boye Mafe out of Minnesota. He just killed the combine, absolutely killed the combine. Had a great Senior Bowl. What do we think about Boye Mafe to the Packers? I think he is way higher ceiling than Karlaftis. I think he's better than Cameron Thomas, even though I love Cameron Thomas. I think Boye Mafe is definitely a first rounder. Olave? I don't hate that. Or should we just take a quarterback? Go with Corral. That's definitely a Packers type pick to take Corral here. I just don't believe they draft a receiver in the first. Like I won't believe it till I see it. You know what I mean? They should draft a receiver in the first for sure. I would also take Dotson before I took Olave. That's just me. You mean Olave? Is that a typo? All right, let's take Olave then. I agree. I think they should go receiver. I just don't think they will. Um, I think that this is definitely. Garrett Wilson went to the Browns. Ninja. I think this is Zion Johnson, or Jahan Dotson. It could be Bernhard Ryman, or potentially, Brees Hall. I don't know about that. I love Dotson. I'm super high on Dotson, like higher than anybody I've seen. I think Sky Moore is in play here, and I also think Pex. I know you keep asking me to see the big board, but I gotta adjust it real quick. Um, what's his name? I love Pickens. I love Pickens. Watson and Pickens, I'm insanely high on. Um, Dotson, I think Dotson is boring enough where people are going to question if he's a one, but to me, he's Terry McLaurin. Maybe not as good of a contested catcher, but does everything exceptionally well. Like probably one of the best. I mean, I forget who was saying it during the combine coverage, but he probably has the best hands in the draft. One of the best hands in the draft. One of the best route runners in the draft. Great separator. Great contested catcher, and probably has the largest catch radius of anybody his height in the draft. I love Pickens here. I think Pickens is going to be like, to me, Pickens is another version of AJ Brown. People say Treylon Burks. I think Treylon Burks is DK, and I think Pickens is AJ Brown. I have drafted Pickens here to Miami. I love Pickens. It's my guy. Kind of want to get crazy and go at Brees Hall, but I think it's Pickens. It's either Bernhard Ryman or Zion. All right, let's take Pickens. Everybody's cool with the Pickens train. My guy. Like, people forget, too, like, Pickens was the number one wide receiver going into this year. And then he got hurt. And then he came out against Alabama, was diving all over the field. Yeah, I know you love Boye. I do know you love Minnesota. That's why I was kind of shocked you didn't want Boye there. It makes more sense for the Packers to take Boye than Olave, given their track record of drafting. Now, this is an interesting pick. 'Cause I love going Daxton Hill here. Just to, like you don't want to worry about Tyrann Mathieu. Draft a boring edge. I don't know. I don't know about that. Because they have Melvin Ingram, right? Even though he was only on a 1 year, they might re-sign him to a cheap veterans minimum. I think Chiefs take Booth, Dax Hill, or Mafe. Pex, you think Boye too? Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah loves Daxton Hill. You know what is interesting about Daxton Hill is I was reading that a lot of teams are scouting Daxton Hill as a slot corner as well as a safety. I think Booth wouldn't be a bad pick here. Hill? Yeah. I don't know about better pick, but I see what you're saying. I think Hill would be the safer pick than Boye, but let's take Boye. Switch it up. I don't think we gotta think too hard about this one. This is just Zion Johnson. Yeah. I agree with that, Ninja. That's what a lot of people are saying. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's talented enough to play either. And we all know how Minka turned out. Last pick. And you know what's crazy? You know what's actually crazy? Is George Karlaftis is here, and we drafted Kyle Hamilton first. I don't think that... I think Hamilton is the pick at 2. What, you didn't like the Zion pick, Pex? Oh, you're still in the delay. Yeah, Bengals take Zion. That's not even... You don't even got to think about it. Karlaftis will fall to the second round, I think. Unless he's taken here. But... He'll to the Lions. But... What if the Lions took Sky Moore? Or Corral? Or Calvin Austin? How do we go to the Bengals? I think the Bengals are very much so in play for a corner. I think if they could land Teron Armstead, they will definitely draft a corner and replace Eli Apple. Because at that point it's like, all right, what were you missing in the Super Bowl that instead, because you already got there, right? So now what wins us that game? No shot to what, Pex? Or are you agreeing with Kane that they don't take a wide receiver? Sky Moore's really good. He had a great combine too. I agree. But I'm saying if they land Teron Armstead. I mean, they could go Teron Armstead and Zion, and then their O-line is like elite. But they still have Eli Apple that they have to deal with. And good GMs can find O-line help all over. Like, if they got Teron Armstead and then took, hypothetically, if they got Teron Armstead, took Booth, then they could take Tyler Smith in the second, they're fine. Yeah, I think round 2 is actually going to be insane, Dominic. I agree with that 100%. I think this draft is going to turn the Wild West real quick. Corral's here. I think Ritter would be better than Corral, though. Just my opinion. I think they need to go receiver. You cannot win games if your number one receiver, like their receiving yards leader was what's his name? TJ Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift through week 12 before like Amon-Ra St. Brown started playing. You can't blame Jared Goff for poop play when he can't even have a wide receiver leading their team in receiving yards. They need to get a receiver. I think it's a good spot for Dotson. I think Dotson and St. Brown complement each other very well. See, I think Ritter is way better than Corral. Giants see the trade in free agency for picks and then move some mid-rounds. I don't think Cephas is anything to be a core. Like, I think Cephas should be your 3, not your 2. And St. Brown should be your 1 or 2. Cooper. Oh, I see what you're saying. Lions could definitely land Cooper. Drake London to the Lions would be like a dream come true for them. I like Pickens here a lot. Peace out, Pax. I think we could take an edge. I think we go Karlaftis and then take a receiver and 2 picks. That way you don't got to worry about getting sniped by the Jags. I think the Jags would definitely jump on Karlaftis. Yeah, I think we take Karlaftis here. All right, y'all. That was our first live mock. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun chatting with you guys. We're going to try to do this again probably next Sunday with round 2. I want to do a 2-rounder, but we're going to have to go faster through these picks because this is almost 2 hours long. But I do want to do a round 2 because this one's shaped. I think round 2 is going to get real spicy with how this board shook out. I do think this draft is going to be the Wild West. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining the Twitch stream. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Now, how do I end the stream? Oh, there we go. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.